The illusion of availability. Why being always on is breaking your team. In hospitality, we often wear responsiveness like a badge of honor. Someone needs help, so we step in. Something breaks, we fix it. A guest arrives, we deliver. It is what we do. It is in our muscle memory. However, somewhere along the way, we began to expect the same from ourselves as leaders and colleagues. Not just during the shift, not just when on call, but all the time, in every moment, even when we are not in the building. Being available has become a badge of worth. But here's the truth. We are less comfortable saying out loud that constant availability is quietly breaking our teams. We are confusing presence with productivity, speed with effectiveness, and responsiveness with leadership. The result is an always-on culture that erodes focus, energy, and trust. When digital tools take over the day. In today's hotel operations, communication is a constant and ongoing process. Teams, WhatsApp, email, and text messages. Ping, buzz, ping again. Even before you finish reading one message, 2 more have arrived. These tools are meant to help. But in our industry, they often blur the lines between availability and obligation, especially when used without boundaries. You start by sending a quick update at 9 p.m., thinking it shows commitment. Before long, that becomes the norm. Then someone else replies at 10 p.m. Now the whole team is watching, wondering if silence signals laziness. And soon, no one feels safe to switch off. A WhatsApp group set up for urgent hotel maintenance starts filling with non-urgent requests. A casual email marked not urgent is followed up 3 hours later. An off-shift manager replies to avoid being seen as unhelpful. It is a pattern we have normalized, but the cost is mounting. The hidden cost of being constantly on. A study from the University of California, Irvine, found it takes more than 23 minutes to return to deep focus after an interruption. And in our world, those interruptions come constantly. The results are readily apparent. Tasks take longer. Mistakes increase. Teams stop planning because the next urgent ping always hijacks their plans. Creativity dips. Decision-making becomes rushed. And people burn out, not just from workload, but from never feeling off duty. What starts as hyper-responsiveness soon turns into chronic distraction. Recently, I saw a senior leader being interrupted 15 times before lunch. Each time, it was a message marked urgent. None of them were. But because no one wants to be the one who delays things, we keep replying. We stay available. We stay distracted. And without meaning to, we set that expectation for everyone else. When leadership delays makes it worse, availability is only part of the picture. There is another pattern that is just as damaging. It happens when leaders delay sharing decisions, feedback, or direction, not because they are disengaged, but because they are trying to protect the team, or they want to be absolutely sure, or they are overwhelmed and juggling too much. But here is what happens when that information finally lands. The team has to stop everything and respond instantly. Timelines compress. Work gets rushed. Priorities shift midweek. People scramble, not because they are disorganized, but because they are reacting to a decision that came too late. This is what I call the urgency trap, and I have fallen into it myself. A personal moment of clarity. Over the last several weeks, I have been speaking with my coach and good friend Phil Stern about this very thing, about my tendency to say yes too quickly, about wanting to impress, about trying to be helpful at all times, even if it comes at the expense of my own clarity. Phil gently asked me to pay attention to what I was doing. I was not just being responsive, I was people-pleasing. I was over-delivering in a way that served no one. Not me, not my team, not the work. His question stopped me in my tracks. If you are always trying to be everything to everyone, how can you lead with focus? That insight led me to make some changes. I stopped replying to messages late at night. I started time blocking my decision-making windows. I began communicating updates more proactively, even when the answer was, "I will confirm by Friday." It was not just about boundaries, it was about leadership. What teams lose when urgency becomes the culture. We like to think we are being efficient, that availability equals commitment, but it does not. Here is what teams quietly lose in an always-on culture: the ability to plan trust in their autonomy. Deep focus psychological safety to switch off time to improve rather than just deliver. And when you add in delayed decisions from above, those problems multiply. Teams become reactive, progress slows, burnout creeps in. And worst of all, your best people, the ones who care deeply, are the first to feel the strain. What hospitality leaders can do differently? Some of the best hotel teams I have seen do not operate on constant urgency. They operate on rhythm, clarity, and shared understanding. Here is how they do it. 1. Set channel expectations. Teams is for updates and project tracking. WhatsApp is for urgent operational alerts only. Email has a 24-hour response window. No one expects a midnight reply. And if something really is urgent, you pick up the phone. 2. Communicate even when you are still deciding. Do not wait until you have all the answers. Say, "I am reviewing options. I will share the plan by Thursday." That one sentence calms the room. 3. Acknowledge your own delays. If you caused the holdup, own it. Say, "I know I held this back, so let's reset the deadline in a way that works." That kind of clarity rebuilds trust and avoids panic. 5. Protect deep work time. Block out hours where you and your team can focus. No meetings, no interruptions. Make it visible and stick to it. 5. Celebrate delayed responses. Yes, really. When someone replies, "I will look at this tomorrow," say thank you. Model that behavior. Make it normal. Why this matters more than ever. In hospitality, everything feels urgent. Guests arrive when they arrive. Staff call out sick at the last minute. Things change fast. But that is precisely why our leadership needs to be thoughtful. If everything else is reactive, then we must not be. We must lead with intention. When we are always on, we burn out. When we delay decisions, we create chaos. However, when we communicate clearly, act promptly, and maintain focus, we give our teams the space to thrive. This is not just an HR issue, it is an operational advantage. The hotels that do this well run smoother, retain talent longer, and deliver more consistent service. In a nutshell, leadership is not about being the fastest responder in the chat. It is about setting the rhythm that allows others to do their best work. Availability should be intentional, not assumed. Urgency should be rare, not routine. Boundaries are not barriers. They are the scaffolding that holds up the real work. I'm still learning this. Most of us are. But with every pause, every clear message, and every moment of focus we protect, we build a better culture. One that works for guests, teams, and leaders alike.